Hi, I'm Heather. I'm a nutritionist and a GAPS practitioner, and today I wanted to do a little recipe tutorial on how to make liver pate. So liver is one of the most nutrient-dense foods, if not the most nutrient-dense food in the world. It's extremely high in absorbable liver, it's really high in copper and a ton of minerals, very high in all of the B vitamins. It even has vitamin C, vitamin K2, vitamin D. It's just absolutely the best. And most people don't really like liver or didn't grow up eating it, so pate is a really good way to get to acquire a taste for it, I suppose. That's what I've had to do as an adult because I didn't grow up eating liver. I've really had to work to acquire a taste for it, and pate is the way to go. So the first thing I have is half a pound of chicken livers. These are from like good quality pastured chickens. They're not fed GMO soy and all that nonsense. 1 brown onion, organic obviously. There is a lot of butter in this recipe, which is not a bad thing. You can use ghee, or you could even use like some other sort of fat, animal fat if you wanted, but butter is a really good flavor. So I'm going to use half of this stick, which I think is about 125 grams of butter. Some fresh herbs, so I have just some parsley from the garden, and salt and pepper, and that's it. And a lot of people will add other things like some dry red wine or some dry white wine even, garlic. There's tons you can do with it. You can add different herbs like rosemary, but I just want to show you how to do this super basic pate, and you can accommodate it to your liking. You could add some lemon juice or some apple cider vinegar or something. I find that really cuts through the kind of liver taste. And it's delicious eaten on like some seed crackers, or if you're not doing the GAPS diet, maybe rice crackers or, you know, sourdough bread. But if you're on GAPS, you could do, seed crackers or like veggies as a dip. And just start out really small, just a tiny bit, and then you can increase that amount as you acquire a taste for it. I used to only be able to put like the thinnest spread of it on like sourdough bread or crackers so that I couldn't taste it. And now I like spoon the whole thing on and absolutely love it. So don't feel bad if you haven't acquired a taste for it yet, because that's what this will help you do. So the first thing I'm going to do is chop up my onion really good, and I'm going to throw it in the pan with my chicken livers and half of that stick of butter. And I'm just going to saute the onion until it's quite caramelized. And the liver should just be a little pink on the inside. You don't want it to be bloody, but you don't want it to be super well cooked. And then as that's caramelizing, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a few shakes of salt, and a little bit of pepper. And you can just add as much as you want. And then I'm going to chop that parsley up and add it in the end. And after everything's cooked, I'm simply going to add it to a blender once it's cooled and let it puree. So you can use a stick blender, or which I often use, or just a full-on, you could use a NutriBullet or a Vitamix or whatever. And then once that's nice and blended, I'm not going to do this today, but it's a really good idea to add some cultured cream, some of that homemade sour cream, or creme fraiche is what we can call it. So if you have some of that, that's really good to add to it. It makes it quite a bit smooth and gives it a really nice mild flavor, but I don't have any of that today, and this is just the basic recipe. So all I'm pretty much doing is just those ingredients I have, and then I'm just going to taste it and basically pour it into some glass jars or whatever ramekins you have. And then finally, I'm going to melt some of that butter and pour that on top of all the pate jars. And that butter is going to seal it really well. It's going to protect it from oxygen in the fridge, and it's going to make it last for weeks. And you can freeze this pate for a month or a bit longer, just depending on how it goes, but a month is probably good. And you can just defrost it for an easy meal or an appetizer, or just to bring over to a friend's house, and that's a really good option as well if you're not going to go through it quickly. So yeah, that's my easy liver pate recipe. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you develop a taste for these delicious nutrient-dense organ meats. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you make pate and what you add to your recipe. What are your favorite herbs to add? And what are your secrets to make the best pate? Hi, thanks for watching my video. You can feel free to comment or like below, or you can follow me on Instagram or on my website.